Hi, very good evening. So this is our 21st live session, and today we chose the theme "Don't Settle, Keep Looking." Right. So in this live session, we're going to discuss about a person who has revolutionized tech industry. Right. So it's none other than Steve Jobs. Let's look at his how his childhood and how his career took shape, and by the way, he was a dropout from Reed's College, and how he could really bring drastic changes and various innovations, especially pertaining to iPad, introduction of iPhone, and the message which he gives us from his life experiences, right? So we'll be discussing about him, and also the most important, personally, my favorite quotes given by Steve Jobs, right? So very good evening once again. Yeah. So how did Steve Jobs start? And we'll also discuss like what happened during his lifetime. And he had even connection with India. He even stayed in an ashram in India, and he had this Indian connection also. So we'll see how his life went on. Right. A very good evening, Ramesh. Hi. So how did Steve Jobs start? His life story is not a straight line, but more like a winding path. From his early years, it's clear that Jobs had no grand plan in the beginning. His search for himself took Jobs through India. He even practiced Buddhism, psychedelic use. Psychedelic drugs are those drugs which are concerned with those drugs like LSD, which alter our state of consciousness, etc. Right, and also he had attempted to become an astronaut, and even started his he even planned to start his own computer company with then USSR, a Soviet Union of Russia. However, winding his path at time, Jobs did find inspiration and creativity in himself at certain periods of his life. And we'll just go through his life timeline, the timeline of his career in brief, and then we'll come back to the message which he gives us. And personally, I feel that's the most relevant message I have ever seen with respect to time, with respect to our passion, with respect to what humanity needs. And he simply puts this way: design, we all use iPhone or iPad or some Apple product, right? Or we might have at least seen it. So he says design is not something which appears or which has this aesthetic appearance. Design is something which works more efficiently rather than the appearance per se. So we have a lot many beautiful messages and quotes given by Jobs. So we'll go through them in a short while from now, right? A very good evening, all of you. Ramesh, Pooja, Mikita, Navya, Kirti, Neetu, Sadhana, and Preeti. So Ramesh is the only boy here. Tanvi, yeah, good evening. A very good evening, all of you, right? So in fact, Steve Jobs was born to, his biological parents were Abdul and Johnny, and after soon he was born, he was adopted by another family, right? So he was adopted at birth by mechanic and accountant, and the couple were Paul and Clara. And Steve was born in San Francisco, right? And then his biological parents married months later, and he learns electronics tinkering from his father, and learns to read with mom before starting school. And he has this habit of pranking his school friends, and he meets his childhood friend Steve Wozniak. Woz, he is the co-founder of Apple, right? And then goes to college, Reed's College. He drops out of college. However, even after dropping out of college, he stays in the same he stays in the hostel, attends classes for around 1.5 years, trying to learn something. Whatever he used to find interesting. Maybe I feel like it's the character of what's his name? Some Three Idiots hero. Amir Khan. No, character name. Rancho. Yeah, it's like I feel. The moment I was going through it, I felt like he has many similarities to the character of Rancho in Three Idiots, right? Yeah, Rancho is, by the way, it's not the original name, right? So we have another long name. What's that long name he has? Amir Khan. No, in the same movie, he has another name. I'm just trying to get some information. Shamal Das Chanchar.
Ramjo Shamalas Chanchar. Shamalas Chanchar.
అది కాదు అసలు ఇంకొక పేరు ఉంటుంది వాడు ఒరిజినల్ పేరు ఇంకోటి ఉంటుంది ఆ మూవీలో లాస్ట్లో సైన్ చేస్తాడు కదా Phungsuk Wangdu, yes. We have answers here. I mean, my students are faster than your Google search. Okay, wonderful. Yes, it's Phungsuk Wangdu, right? Yeah, thank you. Kanishka Tanvi. Yeah, Ranchor Das Shamalas Chanchar is, it's a duplicate name, but the original name is Phungsuk Wangdu. It's something like that. He stays in his college for another 1.5 years, even after dropping out in the first semester. And then he learns, he attends classes which he is interested in. So it shows that it's not like, he even tells that later part in his life that we shouldn't stick ourselves to the dogma in the sense we have certain basic principles to be followed, we have to do certain things, we have to follow certain principles. And he says we shouldn't really do that because that really cuts our innovative thinking, that really makes us more mechanical, and that's one of the most powerful messages he has ever delivered, right? We'll discuss all that later. And then he meets his childhood friend Woz. He's called as Woz, his friend, the co-founder of Apple. Goes to college, drops out, but he attends various classes which he is interested in, and then he eats free meals at Hare Krishna temple over there, at Hare Krishna temple. And he even goes to India, an ashram. He goes to an ashram, and once the ashram is closed, he finds another, right? And then he returns to home, and then he starts practicing Buddhism. And his first project is Blue Box. So Blue Box, along with his childhood friend Woz, I said Woz, right? His childhood friend, co-founder of Apple, makes first big money with Woz illegal Blue Box for free long distance calls. So after that, he realizes that he can beat big companies. And along with Woz, he attends computer club where Woz gets inspired to build computers, and they start building an Apple computer, Macintosh Apple computer, in a garage. From the scratch. They start from the scratch, right? And he asks his sister to help assemble computers, and he starts selling Apple there, right? Then he has a daughter, Lisa, and creates Apple Lisa computer. And later part of life, he asks Bill Gates to create GUI for Mac. GUI stands for graphical user interface, and he knows that it decides its future. I'm not really sure what GUI stands for, but okay, he takes the help of Bill Gates and then spends $1 million on 1984 commercial for Macintosh. He then goes to USSR to sell more Macs, and eventually he gets fired from the Apple by its then CEO, Scully, right? He gets fired from his company first, and then he starts his own computer company called Next, NEXT. And then he buys George Lucas Computer Graphics. Lucas, director of Star Wars, right? He buys George Lucas Computer Graphics and starts Pixar with animation Toy Story, a company called Pixar. And then he marries another woman. He then sells Next company, his own company, to Apple, and then becomes Apple's CEO, and meets Johnny Ive, his spiritual partner at Apple. And he then launches tech revolutions with iMac, iPod, iTunes, and later iPhone and iPad, right? And then he has been subsequently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And often we see in news that people say that he has come up with this innovation of PC, personal computer, and he has died with the same PC, pancreatic cancer. He refuses to have surgery for 9 months, eventually sells Pixar to Disney, gets a liver transplant, finally resigns, and works until the day before he dies, right? And it's his favorite quote, and he says, "Stay hungry and stay foolish." And now let's see the message which he gives us at the commencement address of Stanford. So at that point he says, keep looking and don't settle. And let's see what he said exactly. Steve Jobs summarized his guiding principle in life in 2005 at the commencement at Stanford in a talk titled How to Live Before You Die. How to live before you die. And he says, you've got to find what you love. And this, I feel, is very, very important, and this is the core of the entire live session. So I'll just go slow and see what best we can learn and what best we can absorb from this message. He says, you've got to find what you love. And that is as true for your work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of heart, you will know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking. Don't settle. So that's what he says. So it's all about doing what you love, because eventually in your entire lifespan you're going to fill large part of your career, large part of your life with the work which you choose. So he advises caution, saying that we should choose wisely, we should choose the work which we love. Only once we start loving what we do, then we have the potential to make it great, right? So how do you know that how do you know that you're really doing a great work? You can know it by heart. That's what it says. You can know it by heart, and you know once you do it, you know if you love it, right? So if you haven't found that love till today, till date, don't worry, just keep looking. Sometimes it takes 20 years, sometimes 30, sometimes 40, but eventually when you find the love which you work, then the output is going to be great. You'll have that sense of satisfaction, and the life purpose seems to be satisfied. And another wonderful and powerful message which Steve gives us is, as I said, it's pertaining to the work schedule and all which he has given. And also he's mentioned about the time. The most valuable thing, according to Steve, it's not money, it's not materials, but it's time. Because once, I'll just come back to that. So let's look at the quote which he has given pertaining to time. And Steve says, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma. Dogma, as I said, is nothing but a set of principles which are laid down by an institution. For example, you go to a college authority or principal, the office say that you have to come like this, you have to do that, you shouldn't do that. I mean, you have some kind of rules and regulations, right? So that's example for dogma. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition, right? So this is another powerful message which we get from Steve pertaining to time. So these two messages really revolutionize our way of thinking. I mean, once you just get connected to them, you'll realize what's the ultimate purpose of you staying here. Is it for making difference, or is it just following other streams and working blindly and mechanically? That really makes a lot of sense and difference, right? And I have one more quote for all of you, and I think it's really relevant and I should share it now. And that's pertaining to the mantras which he has shared. And he says, that's been one of my mantras: focus and simplicity. Simple can be even harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. But it's worth it in the end, because once you get there, you can even start moving mountains. So these are put in the own words given by Steve, right? So these are some of the personal and powerful messages we have from Steve. And as I said, he is the person who is behind tech revolution, Silicon Valley. You hear of Elon Musk, we hear of Steve Jobs, we hear of Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and we have a lot many people who are doing great. It's because of their approach towards life. It's because they believe in themselves, right? So in spite of having an early struggle during his childhood, during his career, but these people never give up. We should never give up. We should stick on to basic things. We should believe in ourselves. Just go ahead. Never settle for less. That's the message we can get from this particular session. And I would like to repeat this particular quote given by Steve Jobs during his commencement address at Stanford, and the talk is titled as How to Live Before You Die. And he even says that, if you're going to die, for example, just assume that you're going to die tomorrow. Then if you're doing something today, would you do the same thing if you're going to die tomorrow? Or you're going to do something which really keeps you exciting? So that kind of approach really puts you in the right track. If you feel like, yes, I'm going to die tomorrow, then what is the big thing I'm going to do today that's really going to make much difference in my life and going to give me a sense of satisfaction, right? So that's the reason why he's even titled the talk as How to Live Before You Die, isn't it? So I'll just read out the message one final time, my personal favorite and very much relevant to every one of us who is seeking growth and progress, right? So his talk titled How to Live Before You Die, and he says during his commencement address at Stanford, you've got to find what you love, and that is as true as for your work as it is for your lovers. You have got to find what you love, and that is as true for your work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is a great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Once you start loving, obviously, it's going to be great for you and for people who believe in you. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking, don't settle, right? So that's the wonderful message we have from Steve, right? And as I said, he just says one thing. Assume that if you're going to die tomorrow, then would you be doing the same work you're going to do today, if that's the case? So that really makes you think whether you are in right track or not, right? So I'm just searching for it. We even have a quote pertaining to that. Yes, here it is. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I have ever encountered to help me make big choices in life. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make big choices in life, because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important, right? So these are some of the beautiful messages we have from Steve, and such an inspiring personality. A very good evening, Neha and Jagdish. That's what he questions. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm doing or what I'm about to do today? So that's a very powerful message we have from Steve, right? So this is what I wanted to discuss with all of you. So it's all about realizing our true passion, searching for it, realizing what we really love to do. And once you know that you have an interest towards a particular thing, then no matter how the scenario is, how the situation is outside in the public or in society, we shouldn't live for sake of it. We should believe in ourselves, go by based on what we love, and that really gives you an opportunity to do something called as a great work, right? So that's a wonderful message we have from Steve, right? So hope you got what I wanted or intended to say, right? So a very good evening once again. Of course you will settle. And viral videos, you ask, can we settle after finding what we love? And you know what, once you find, based on my personal experience, I can say, once we settle after finding what we love, you'll never stop there. It gets, as he says, it gets better and better as life progresses, as we roll on, and we will have, I mean, we'll never settle. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and you'll just keep challenging yourself. So that's the beauty of finding the true work which you love, and the work which you believe would be a great work, right? Okay, Kumari, you want the quotes in the comments? Sure, definitely. I mean, we have a character limit, but anyways, I'll try. I'll see. So here you go. I think it exceeds the character limit, but maybe I'll break this quote into two. I have to break it into three parts. Yeah, you have the first part here. Second part. Tanvi has some question. You got to find for your lovers. Okay. I think I have pasted the same stuff. So this is the second part of the message, and then we have third, and then finally fourth. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but I have no other option, right? So I posted that in 4 or 5 messages, right? You can just have a look. Kumari. Hi, Saurabh. Okay. Oh, so Tanvi says, what's the difference between never settling down and greed? Do you think it's greed? If someone says that you're never settling down, I don't think so. I think that's a different story altogether. Greed is something which I feel, I mean, it's more personal, in the sense it's like, it's what's in it for me. How am I going to get benefited? How am I going to make more money, and how am I going to be so happy? Only myself. It's all about myself, right? So that's greed. That's what I feel. Never settling down is, in the sense, it's like you're doing something for yourself and for the people around you, and that's what a revolution means. Revolution, I said tech revolution because it's his ideas, his innovations which revolutionized the way in which we are using technology, the way in which people started communicating, isn't it? I think there is a lot of difference, Tanvi. I mean, that's my opinion at least, right? Hari Krishna says, hello sir, small query. Since sir, as you are busy with live session schedule, recorded video topic are reduced compared to earlier than any alternative solution available. Of course not, Hari. We have a break in our regular schedule. We have a break. I mean, in our schedule, we have given break after 4 or 5 subjects. So this Sunday is a break. So we don't have any weekly test. So, I mean, we're having plenty of time, and I'm using this time for making live sessions and for interacting with all of you, right? So there won't be any scope or any thought of reducing the recorded video topics. That goes as per the schedule, as promised to all my students, right? Yeah, of course. And I feel even these live sessions will be useful, not only for you, but even for them, but for everyone, right? So there is no scope for them getting reduced. That goes as per the promise. So since we have a break, we are using this time for interacting with you, and also we are using this time for discussing multiple choice questions. So we had around, I mean, this is our 6th live session in the same week, right? So we're trying to do more of subject and less of general discussion, because as time is approaching for exam, we're trying to focus more on providing information, as much viable information as possible. You're welcome, Kumari. Simarjit, hi. Rahul, hi. Saurabh, sir, please tell me how to start preparing for PG. Saurabh, you already, I think you mailed us, right? Previously, maybe long back, Jan or February. You can just mail us, proudtobedentist@gmail.com. We'll discuss the course of action, right? You have 4 months time. You can go ahead. You can just take up our schedule, follow it, and we'll share you some drafts, books to be followed, and you can mail us for more queries, right? I mean, this is a generalized question which needs extensive and elaborate explanation, right? So I'm cutting it down. We'll discuss that in mail, Saurabh. Simarjit. Okay, Simarjit, that's true. That's a practical problem which we all face. I totally agree with you. You say I had these sessions before too, all this motivation, but it still doesn't work. I have a job at clinic at evening, but I badly want MDS. See, that should be your driving force, Simarjit. Why do you think motivation doesn't work? I mean, see, you say you badly want MDS. For what? I mean, you should know it, right? So that should be the driving force, obviously. We just can't say that this isn't working, and since it isn't working, I cannot really, that approach wouldn't really help us. Okay, and also I mentioned clearly that the extrinsic motivation which we give, which the outsiders give to us, I think it has a very little impact, to be frank. And it's that intrinsic motivation which plays a crucial role. And I discussed all this in one of the videos also, right, in NEET MDS orientation. It's all about how well motivated and focused we are, right? So that depends upon the target which we have in mind. I mean, if I feel like I badly need MDS, that itself is a driving force, isn't it? Of course, the path is not going to be smooth and rosy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, and that makes a lot of difference, right? Because once the path is tough, I mean, not everyone can pass through it. Only, see, as they say, as the going gets tough, the tough gets going, right? So only when you're tough, when you stay focused, when you're committed, when you're willing to work hard in a consistent manner, you're going to succeed, and there are no shortcuts. You say you're working in a clinic. If you think so, like, I mean, personally, in my opinion, I'm telling you just my opinion, you can think for yourself, right? So I really couldn't balance working in clinic and practicing, preparing for PG. So while I was in internship, I mean, I dedicated my entire time for preparation, because I was not capable of balancing both clinic and PG prep, right? So it's up to you to decide whether you're able to allot adequate time. If you feel like, no, I need money, then you need to sacrifice your goal. Or if you feel like you badly need MDS, then you need to sacrifice certain things in life, and there is no alternative. I mean, if you're smart enough, then you, of course, if you can balance both, then it's up to you, right? It's up to your potential. But if you're struggling now, then it means you have to make some greater changes in the way in which you're approaching towards preparation, right? So it should be like one. You can't just go on traveling in two boats, as they say, isn't it? Saurabh Mishra. Saurabh, are you in second BDS? I mean, are you in second BDS? Saurabh? Bindu. Hi, Bindu. Hi. Simarjit, it's like I'm not able to find guidance. True guidance. I mean, I never heard of, frankly speaking, I never heard of true and false guidance. If someone is giving you, I mean, as per you, true guidance, that's called as guidance. If someone is trying to falsely guide you, then we shouldn't call that as guidance. So there is nothing like, say, we have this positive homeopathy and negative homeopathy. There isn't something like negative, right? So nothing positive or nothing true or false. It's all about whether you have it or not. Yes, I agree that most of them, we have this kind of wrong way of approach, right? So you should be careful in choosing your guide also. And I mean, if you need any assistance, I would be glad to help you, and you can mail us at proudtobedentist@gmail.com for any queries, right? And let me tell you one thing frankly, Simarjit, it's nothing personal, but remember, guidance and all, you know what? We should, I mean, I'm not trying to point out at you, but we just can't keep on saying that I couldn't do this because I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that guidance. I couldn't have that book, or I couldn't have that proper plan. It's all about like how you dedicate yourself, frankly speaking. You'll have guidance, but guidance, do you think really having guidance alone will help you achieve all the things in life? No. I mean, someone who has achieved something before you, they'll have an idea and they'll give you an overview. But it's up to you to plan, to implement that plan, to execute that plan, right? So we just can't say that I don't have right guidance and that's the reason why I'm not achieving what I want, and that makes us a loser. We just can't say that. We just can't play a blame game, right? Yeah, I'm not, see, don't get offended that I'm saying something personal. It's not something personal. I mean, this is the kind of attitude which we all have, isn't it? Right? So we just can't say it's because of him, it's because of you, I couldn't do it. No, that doesn't really work out. It should come from you, and you should be responsible for your own achievements or for your own disasters or loss of things, right? So make yourself more responsible, and you take your life into your hands, and you'll have that you just give yourself into it, right? So you'll definitely do it provided you stay focused. I mean, if you think that the current plan is not working out, what changes can you make, right? And I believe in two things. PJ Prep, it's all about working hard and doing that hard work and smart work in a consistent manner possible. Hard work and consistency will definitely yield you wonderful results, and that's for sure. The reason why I'm telling you it's for sure is because it's like basic principles of life, like sun rises in east. I mean, we have this kind of basic principles, right, in nature. So it's one of the basic principles, and if you're really interested, you just have a look at the book authored by Stephen R. Covey, and the name of the book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and that book was presented to me by my professor, Dr. Suresh, way back when I was in UG. That's a wonderful book. They discuss all the basic principles. I know while going through it, we feel really motivated, but as Simarjit rightly pointed out, there is a time where we feel rejected and we eventually give up, right? So we'll learn from our mistakes, right? Saurabh, I'm second year now and want to start preparing from now onwards. Please suggest me correct path. Saurabh, good to hear that you are in your second year. So the best thing you can do now is focus on going through and studying standard textbooks, right? Since you're in second year, make sure that you follow standard textbooks, absorb all the information given in textbook. I mean, absorb in the sense memorizing potential and also logical way of approach, right? So these two things are important. You just focus on it, and if you have time, I mean, at least if you have time, I used to practice it. I mean, since my senior said, you can take up any MCQ book, practice the anatomy multiple choice questions. I mean, the topics which were covered in first year, which you would be obviously be familiar of, right? Anatomy and biochemistry, physiology, dental anatomy and oral histology, right? So you can just practice them just for fun, right? So to test yourself, right? It has to be fun. Practice has to be fun. It should be challenging. Then you'll start enjoying and you'll do more and more, right? And you can mail us at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. I posted the comment here. You can mail us and we'll guide you more and more, right? Yeah. Saurabh, you send us a mail. We will send you the list of books to be followed, right? Yeah. You're welcome. So it's past. Okay. So Aishwarya says, yes, that's true. I've gone through it, and that's very wonderful. That's wonderful quote also. So Aishwarya says there is another amazing quote by Steve Jobs. I really like this one too. The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who actually do, and that's 100% true. Yeah. And thanks for sharing, Aishwarya. Thumbs up. Right, so we have any other questions or anything, you can just post it, right? So it's already 35 minutes. It's 35 minutes. How do you get that smiley? You're using your mobile? Okay. Now we have smileys here. I haven't noticed it also. Emojis, right? We have emojis in this live chat. Okay, fine. I haven't really noticed it. Arvind. Hi, Arvind. I'm going to give fourth year exams this month. Is doing MDS worth it, sir? That's again a general, broad question which you have asked me in a simplified manner, but the answer is not going to be so simple. Is MDS worth it? So, why do you want to do MDS? What's your interest in? So it depends on that. What's your interest in? How do you want to see yourself? Just ask yourself this question. How do you want to see yourself in the next 2 years, next 5 years, next 10 years? As a clinician, as an academician, as a researcher, or do you have some interest in other field? So question yourself, and then that itself will give you an answer. And don't go by what the market dictates, what the dogma says. You have this, like once you do MDS, you'll have this minimum pay. You can join in some college, they'll give you something. You can start practicing in evening. That's all nonsense crap, frankly speaking, right? So don't go by what the market says, because if you go by what market says, you're going to lead a mechanical life which will ruin your entire career. In the sense, you'll do economically good, but economic success is not a success in life, isn't it? You can have money but no peace of mind. I've seen many people practicing, earning a lot, but still not satisfied with their way of living, right? So no one really wants to have that kind of lifestyle, isn't it? So what's your passion? What's your interest? And if you feel like you need more time, take more time. You have internship, you're still in your final year, and see what you are really interested in, and that should guide you, right? Business administration. Shravani. Hi, Shravani. Business administration in dentistry, you mean we have these courses, right? MPH and MHA, health administration, business administration. You're talking about MBA after dentistry? I'm not really sure like how relevant that would be in our profession, but I heard the fact that corporates do absorb dentists who have these degrees in administration, but I'm not really sure like how good that's going to be. Yeah, MBA. I heard even students doing MBA after dentistry. Even one of our HODs in my UG college, one of our HODs, Dr. Srinivas sir from public health dentistry, has done his MBA while we were in undergraduation. 4 years or 5 years ago, here in Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. And I don't really know the reason, but maybe sir was interested or something, but has done his MBA late. And I've seen few of my friends, maybe 1 or 2% doing MBA and then going into corporates. Like we have some corporate hospitals in my metropolitan cities. I'm not really aware in depth of that particular thing, right? If you have that interest in business management and administration, then obviously why not? You can go, you can create a new path and you can guide every one of us, isn't it? I'll just tell you an example, about my friend Satvik. So everyone we're all like, yeah, Arvind, you'll have the answer for that also. Sir, is leaving India a good option? See, I'll not say that we should be more nationalistic. We should, of course, we should love our country. That's all fine. But many people say that if you leave your country, then what good you're doing for your country, right? So it's up to them. But I'll just give you an example of my friend, and his name is Satvik. Right now, he's pursuing his PhD in US, and every one of us, like most of our gang was like either into clinics. After BDS, we either entered into clinics, or few of us who are really worried about our future entered into MDS, right? And that's how it happened, right? Isn't it? We're all living in this society, so we're forced upon till 28 to 29 years, especially people of medical profession, right? And from then you'll start realizing like what's really important and not important. So my friend has done, as I said, few of us entered into clinics, few of us MDS, and then academics and all. And myself, I'm into this, right? Coaching and all. He has gone into research, which no one even dared to do. Even I was interested. Few of my friends were also interested, but he went to US, has done his MPH or MH, I'm not sure. And after completing it, he secured, in the sense, he got permission to pursue PhD in one of the universities there, and right now he has started his this thing. It takes around 5 to 6 years, I reckon, right? And we're really waiting for him, because once he comes out, even now he's guiding. He's a very good person. He's guiding even now, and once he comes out, it's like we have a new path for everyone. We can start saying that yes, if you are a BDS graduate, you have this new way of doing things. Like we can set an example. So similarly, Shravani, Arvind. So you can dream, you can have your own thought process, and you can achieve it and stay as a source of inspiration for every one of us, isn't it? And is leaving India a good option? It again depends, right? If you feel like academics, you want to do, you want to go settle abroad, it's your own individual choice, but it takes a lot of time and money. That you should keep in mind. So I've heard of my friends who takes a loan, and the loan amount would be high, and also you need to invest in time. Of course, that's worth it. You're going US, for example, Australia or anywhere, you spend some time, some years, and practice over there, prepare for exams and give the exams. Obviously, the output, life is going to be according to, it's like how much you give, you'll be getting the same or even more than that. So that's the reason why I keep on saying give your best, and always the best comes back to you, isn't it? I would not say that leaving India is a good option. You can have a career here. Of course, if you're if you have that intention to settle abroad, it's purely your choice, right? You're welcome, Shravani. And Twinkle says, I am in second year right now. I want to prepare for PG set. Please guide me. Twinkle, and we have another second year student here. Is it Arvind? No, Arvind is in fourth year. Saurabh. So Saurabh and Twinkle. So what you do is, you just, as I said previously, Twinkle, while I was talking to Saurabh, I mentioned that you start referring only standard textbooks, and along with that, you can practice first year subjects. And also in our YouTube channel, in my channel, we have this playlist titled NEET MDS Orientation. Just go through all the videos over there. You'll have my way of, my opinion towards NEET entrance, right? You can, you can interact with your seniors, with many people, with your staff, with your guides, and then you will have more and more information pertaining to NEET PG orientation. Also, you can check out my YouTube channel and the playlist titled NEET MDS Orientation, where I have discussed in detail all the queries pertaining to PG preparation, right, Twinkle? Yeah. Shruti, Shruti, what you say is whatever we do, it should make history. History or mystery? Shruti, what is it? History or mystery? Okay, yes, that's true. Of course, that's the reason why we're talking about great people today, isn't it? Whatever we do should make history. Hands up. Not hands up, sorry, thumbs up. Neeraj says, I'm practicing at my own clinic and I'm thinking of doing PG in endodontics. Want to know your opinion? So, you're planning to do PG in endodontics, Neeraj. The reason? If you have the clinical orientation and if you want to learn endo, then better practice the endo sessions for 6 months or 1 year. You have a lot many diplomas, right? You diplomas even recognized by open universities. I'm not sure whether IGNOU's endo diploma is right now available. I think it's been stopped, but you can find some diplomas in case you're practicing. I mean, you're having that intention to learn only the clinical part. But if you want to excel in academics as well, and if you want to see yourself as a good academician, then go do post graduation. But don't go for PG only for sake of learning. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but I've seen it, because if you go to PG, I mean, you'll really struggle and suffer doing all those seminars and LDs, and eventually it will be like naam ke vaste, right? That shouldn't be there. So clinical orientation, then practice and do learn and do 6 months to 1 year, and then practice at your own clinic, right? And but if you wish to master in academics, then you can of course go for PG. You're welcome, Twinkle. Shruti, you have a smiley which is showing how many teeth? Canine to canine, grinning. Okay. Arvind, sorry, is internship considered to be a part of curriculum or work experience? It's considered as work experience. I mean, when you apply for any job or anything, they say like 4.5 years or 4 years of graduation and 1 year. That 1 year comes under work experience, of course, isn't it? It's work experience, which is a part of curriculum. So it's a combination of both. And when you're applying for a few jobs, I've seen in Middle East and all, they even consider this 1 year as far as I know, but I'm not exactly sure. But even this 1 year internship will be counted as far as I believe. You're welcome, Neeraj. Kanishka, sir, in present situation, is it good to do MDS from private institute? Of course, it's good, but it depends on the private institute. You just see like who is the, I mean, how the management is, because it's the management's attitude that really provides the infrastructure over there, right? Are they really interested in economics, or is it just again, as I say, naam ke vaste, just giving degrees and taking money from people? So you'll understand that. You can interact with PGs over there in that particular college, look how the management is, and see how your guide and head of the department is. That's more important. How your guide is, that's going to decide your 3 years, right? Or else, I mean, things can go wrong if you have a wrong person in that position. But things can go right and extremely well, and it will be inspiring experience if you have the other way around, right? So you can inquire, of course, from private institute, you can do MDS. It will be a good decision. So Simarjit, same answer, right? You're welcome, Arvind. Yeah, so I'll just summarize. I'll just summarize all that we have discussed so far. I mean, pertaining to the theme of today's live discussion: don't settle and keep looking. Yeah, you're welcome, Kashyap. So, how to live before you die? You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for your work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. And as with all matters of heart, you will know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. And so keep looking, don't settle, right? And your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of others people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. And if you're going to die tomorrow, assume that you're going to die tomorrow, would you be doing the same thing which you're planning to do today if you're going to die tomorrow? So that kind of attitude and motivation orientation helps you stay on right track and enables you to do great work, achieve greater satisfaction, and gives us a sense of purpose in life, right? Yeah. Ashi Jain. Hi Ashi. Amit Ashish, Arvind Arora. Important book for NEET MDS. I'm not familiar of those books, Ashi. I'm not familiar. Yeah, Arvind, sir, you say is transferring from my college to GDC for internship is worth it. Of course, I mean, if you have that orientation of learning more clinical work, then of course that would be a better choice. But see, check out whether your university accepts that, and also there is some amount of money that needs to be transferred. I mean, you need to pay some amount to your college and also to the college where you're planning to go, and yeah, it's worth it. I've seen one or two of my seniors also doing the same, and I feel it's worth it. I mean, how is the OP in your college? You answer me first, then we can have a discussion. Medical entrance exam. Okay, Ashi Jain is pertaining to medical entrance exam. Ashi Jain. You say Amit Ashish. Okay, let me just check out my draft. I have a few books in my draft. If I have that list. Medical. No, I haven't heard of those books actually. List of books. Ashi Jain, you do one thing, just mail us at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. We'll send you the list. I mean, we usually advise. Okay, you don't have that previous medical this thing. Anyways, Ashi, I'm not familiar with that, but you can just mail us. We'll send you the list which we advise to our students, right? Okay, for anatomy, biochem, path, and micro. I got it, Ashi. It's for medical subjects, right? I'm not familiar of it. Arvind, NTR UHS. Which college are you from? Viral videos around how much, sir? I didn't get you. Okay, you're talking about the internship transfer, this thing. Maybe I heard it was way back in 2012 or 11. I heard it's around 70 to 80,000 or even 1 lakh. I'm not really sure of the amount, but I heard it's around 70 to 1 lakh. Okay, you say mediocre OP, Arvind. Okay, which college is it? SSCDS, can you just expand it? Sri Sai? I mean, the Srikakulam one or Vikarabad? Oh, Vikarabad. Okay, fine. I heard the OP is good. Okay, fine. Yeah, of course you can plan. You're planning for Usmania. Okay. I think it's, I mean, our university does accept the transfer, but you need to pay some amount, right? I mean, you need to find out from the university itself. You have one form which has to be filled and you have to apply for it. And you can check out in your college office also. Yeah. I think you said Amit Arora, right? Ashi Jain. Okay. Amit Ashish. Yes, I remember because I haven't referred that for a long period. Yes, I actually have this book, Amit Ashish. I mean, while we were preparing, one of our guides told us the same book. It's a huge, bulky one, right? I think I have it also. I mean, they advised us to follow that book for medical subjects. Yeah, maybe. I think we can follow that, Ashi. But I'm not familiar with Arvind Arora. Yeah, I think I have this Amit Ashish. Yeah. Yeah, JDC Hyderabad or Osmania, right? Yeah. Okay. I mean, so how was it like this entire week? I mean, I think most of you, Sirisha, Ramesh, Pooja, Mikita, Navya, Kirti, Neetu, Sadhana, I think most of you, Preeti, Neil Nandan. Yeah, most of you, I think you have attended the live sessions, right, this week. So how is it? So I covered the basic subjects also as per the request of few aspirants, like biochem physiology. We have done textbook discussion. So we'll try to maintain the same pace every week. And as one of you pointed out, we even have the challenge of covering our recorded videos also, which we provide in our e-classes, right? So Neetu, thanks. So we'll just follow the same schedule unless and until we feel like we can do much more better than the existing one, right? Okay, so it's 55 minutes and we'll say bye then. Yeah. I mean, we have these emojis here. The moment I hover over my mouse over that emoji, we're getting the name. So Ashi Jain is blushing now as per the emoji, right? And Lakshmi Shruti was grinning and blushing. We have very few emojis in the comments. Mikita also blushes while wishing. Osmania, you're talking about Osmania Samit? You can find that in the university prospectus book. I have that prospectus book. I'll just mail you. We have the number of seats allotted there. Maybe for open category it's around less than 10. I'm not sure of the exact number. OMFS in government college. Which government college then, Samit? Which government college? I mean, you're talking about all over India. Then we should check out NEET prospectus. The government college seats we can roughly estimate, but as such, oral surgery, I'm not sure. So let me know whether it's oral surgery or Osmania. Okay, government college for OS, so obviously it's oral surgery, right? So I'm not sure of the value. Now it's in thousands. 2604 general. I've seen that statistics previously also, and I've shared in one of the live sessions. I don't remember the value now. Yeah, 300 dental colleges. We have roughly some 800 or 1000 government seats. I'm not sure of it. Or let me just check out. Actually, there are around, estimate is around, we have around 680 government seats for MDS. And we have the list here, I think, yes. I'll share the link. I mean, I got that in Quora. You can just look at the link. I'm sharing the link here. You can just check out that link, right? You're welcome, Tanvi. And Tanvi has this smileys, blush and innocent. No, it's around 700 as per one of the information given in the Quora. Yeah, they have even given the table. You can check out the number of seats and all, right? Yeah. I mean, I've seen most of my friends. I have seen them who have done this PG in oral surgery. Yes, they do practice what they observe and learn in MDS, right? And of course, you'll not get all the opportunity to do it immediately. Maybe with time, I've seen even my staff, my PJs, I mean my co-PJs who have come out along with me. Of course, they will have an opportunity to practice the procedures which they observe or learn in MDS after graduating. Okay, right. So it's past 60 minutes. So we'll just we'll conclude the session, right? So I'm glad to see you all live, and so wish you all the best. Have a happy weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and have a great time, right? Ashi, you can mail us. You mail us at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. We'll send you the list of books, PG Prep as well as the general subjects, right? We'll send you the list of books, right? So all the very best. Keep smiling. Love you all. Bye. Good night.